A lot of people in the comments, especially over on the TikTok channel, man, a lot of people were saying, You guys are crazy. Sean Strickland, you really think he's going to beat this dude Paeta? Paeta's going to knock him out. It's not even going to be close." Then you had other people saying it will be a very close decision, but Paeta inevitably is going to edge it out. Now, while I thought that Sean Strickland, being a more versatile mixed martial artist, had an incredibly great shot at winning this fight, especially being that he opened as an underdog, all of my hope and optimism, AJ, went out of the window when I saw him literally just flat-footed prod in front of Alex Paeta for the whole time. I'm thinking, okay, level change, get him up against the cage, dirty box. You know what I'm saying? Like, put him in these positions to where he can utilize some of that wrestling and some of that grappling that he has, man, to make it such a much more intriguing fight. But instead, he used his ego, and this is the real problem at hand right here. Israel Adesanya, in the pre-fight presser, he said, "I think Sean Strickland, if he wants to win, he needs to use his ego." And I think that's directly what led to his loss. He says, "My ego is I fight with glory kickboxing champions all the time. This dude Paeta is no different." But did you forget this dude has a left hand of fucking dynamite? You know what I'm saying? So to just sit there, standing there, get faked off the jab, and then left hook, boom, it was almost the easiest night Alex Paeta could have ever imagined, ever could have dreamed of. What do you make of the game plan of Sean Strickland, man? Is Alex Paeta this good, or do you think that this win was like punctualized, or how punctuated, I guess I should say, by a terrible game plan by Sean Strickland?
I think it was a terrible game plan from Sean Strickland, man. Literally, if a novice striker of myself can go in there and say, "Stop pawing at the jab, stop reaching your blocks, stop," every time Paeta would jab, you'd see Sean Strickland just go out there and parry it. And sure enough, what'd you see Paeta do, man? Fake the jab, come around the top with that bomb of a left hand. There's literally a YouTube video I watched right before, maybe before one of the show or one of these days leading up to the fight, and it was the sound of Paeta's left hand bomb. And sure enough, you just see him all the time, bam, cracking people with that left hand. How do you not know that this dude is going to come in? It must be a horrible game plan. If you're not doing the research to know that you can't paw that hand, you got to keep that hand high because that left hook is coming. It has to be embarrassing for the coach, for the fighter. Like, it has to be one of those ones where everybody looks back and they're like, "Well, yeah, you don't reach for your punches like that. Like, what are you doing?" Yeah, crazy.
The big key is that Sean Strickland immediately addressed it, which you have to give him credit for, man. He didn't run and hide. He said, "No, listen, man, I had a good go, and now it's time to work my way up the ranking." So you got to love that from Sean Strickland, like a true blue-collar worker right there. That's why I got love for him regardless of all the antics, man. I'm like, this dude's just a hard worker. You got to love that. But he also did say, "I tried to just stand and bang in front of a, world-class kickboxer." And I'm like, that's the problem right there, though. This is MMA. This is not kickboxing. You're literally saying, "Oh, you're that dude who's the best kickboxer right now. You're the double champ or whatever. Okay, that's fine. Now let me do exactly what you're good at." Like, that's the whole point of people saying, "How do you beat Israel Adesanya? How do you beat Sean O'Malley?" Well, they're really good at striking. Take them down. Nullify the grappling, or nullify the striking, and start the grappling and all that good stuff. Man, I don't know, man. This just it frustrated me a little bit just because I was like, man, this broke my parlay, first off, right? And then second, I mean, I feel like we're not really seeing, aside from that Bruno Silva bout, we're not really seeing a big tests on Alex Paeta. We need to see 3-round bangers. We need to see 3 rounds of mixture of grappling, mixture of striking, all of that good stuff. Put him in that adversity to see what he's made of. But now you get that instant shot at Israel Adesanya or AJ. Interesting. I don't have it pulled up. I don't have a graphic to show you. But I did see Khamzat Chimaev actually just called out Alex Paeta. He said he wants to fight him. And I think that would be interesting. So what if that's the new title eliminator, right? At middleweight, because Khamzat clearly is trying to make his stamp at welterweight right now to fight Usman. But if he says, "All right, fuck it, I'll fight Chimaev," that's the big money fight, and then the winner gets the shot at Israel Adesanya, that could be interesting. What do you make of that?
That's a storyline right there, Derek. The Wolf meets Paeta, the Izzy Hunter, dude, man, that's gonna be a fight too. Because you're right, we haven't seen Paeta tested besides the Bruno Silva, which he was able to get past, but arguably Bruno Silva's not anywhere near a Khamzat level of grappler either. No, he's not the best grappler. He's really, really good, but still not the best that the division has to offer. But we just haven't seen Paeta be put in that situation. I want to know what he's like off his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he going to do the second both shoulder blades hit the ground and now he actually has to scramble and work to get up? That's the real big question, because that stuff happens. That stuff happens all the time in every other fight, except I guess when people are just trying to fight him with his ego. There's a very clear game plan once you see, oh, dude, best kickboxer in the world. All right, like you can't kick me when you're on your back, so let's go there. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that fight. I like the Hamzat fight a lot.
Absolutely, man. So, I mean, plus 135 TKO, Paeta, easy money right there. And folks, I mean, you have to do some of these things. When these like 50-50 bouts where you're like, well, there's a path to victory for this dude, but the other dude has the nuclear option. Even though you throw money on Sean Strickland, which I did in my parlay, right? I even, I think I put a decision prop for Sean Strickland because I'm thinking like, okay, brother, this is how he's going to get it done. You still have to hedge in these situations, and I throw a little bit of money on Paeta. So while I lost the Strickland bet, I did make it up with the Paeta TKO prop plus 135. Man, you just throw $5, $7 on it just in case, you know, and that's what'll make up your money right there. But listen, man, this is a dude who I think he looks so menacing just because he doesn't speak English, right? So it's just like this mean Brazilian dude who's just like everything he says. He has a deep voice too. Everything he says sounds mean and just like vicious. So a lot of people are thinking right now he's going to get rid of Israel Adesanya. He's going to be the new champion, which blows my mind because this dude has all of 7 MMA fights. And you're doing this. That's the thing that blows my mind is the inexperience. However, he does have the kickboxing, massive loads of experience. So big win by Alex Paeta. And back to the drawing board for Sean Strickland, but you have to commend a man who had number 4 next to his name, fight in more or less unranked dude. Because Alex Paeta, he's 18 in the Topology rankings, but unranked in the UFC. He will be entering the top 5 though. We'll see what happens.